going on, people? You get me? Back again. I had to do this one separate, you get me? I need to get into this one. Obviously, we got Watford this weekend, you know what I mean? 3 games in and we've already got a must-win game, but I believe we'll get the win in this one, you know what I mean? But obviously, Perez looks like he's on his way over. Mustafi looks like he's going to get done as well, you know what I mean? I've already said that, yeah, I'm Wenger out, but if he does the right thing, I'll praise him for it, innit? And obviously, I rate him for this move, you know what I mean? It needs to be done because we need a centre-back for a long time. We need someone to go up top as well to put some pressure on Giroud because he's not performing, you know what I mean? And I'm happy with that, I'm not going to lie, but obviously it's still Wenger out. I want to do like a little breakdown of the game, you get me? I want to like give my personal 11 that I think we should start with for this game, you know what I mean? So obviously, you got to start with check and goal. There's no other person to play, no other keeper in our club that's on his level, so that's straight and easy. Petr Cech. Got to go Hector Bellerin on the right side of the defence, you know what I mean? I love Hector, man. I hope he stays with us for a long time, you know what I mean? He started the season kind of shaky against Liverpool, but he looked like he was back to his old self against Leicester last weekend. I think we have to start Rob Holding and Laurent Koscielny again because as you saw last weekend, with Koscielny in that defence, Holding looks like a good player. He looks composed, Koscielny has the experience. You saw Koscielny leading from the back last weekend, clearing them headers, commanding the defence. A real leader on the pitch, you know what I mean? So obviously, Koscielny, Holding, and then there's only one man for left back for me, man. Man like Nacho, you get me? Solid left back, no problem with the back 5 there. Anyone thinks that should be different, put your little comment, you get me? But obviously, I'm gonna move on to the midfield now. For me, I'm gonna put Xhaka in there on the left-hand side of the 2. I'm gonna put 2. Xhaka's on the left. I agree with DT on this one, you get me? Me and him had a little discussion about this one over Santi or Coquelin, but I agree with him on that one, so I'm gonna put Coquelin in next to Xhaka. You know what I mean? I think that'll be a good base in front of the defence to shield them, give Holding a bit of protection, you know what I mean? In case anything was to go a bit pear-shaped, you get me? But then, we're going to go on to the right side of the midfield. For me, Walcott's been shocking. Everyone knows my feelings on that guy, you know what I mean? So, only one man can start in that position, that's the Ox, you know what I mean? I think he had a good game last weekend. I don't know why Wenger took him off instead of taking off Walcott, but for me, Ox has to start. On the left, I'd play Alexis, man, because as we saw last weekend, he can't do it up top by himself. He don't have the height, and he's not a striker. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's a left-sided midfielder, cutting on the left, let it off on the right. You know what I mean? Everyone knows the outcome. Then obviously, come on, man. Everyone knows who's number 10, innit? We go, Zil. You know what I mean? Best playmaker in the world. You saw the difference last weekend when he came on for them last 15 minutes. Alexis looked like he was back to his old self. When you have 2 world-class players playing on the same team, that's what happens. Before Ozil was on the pitch last weekend, Alexis weren't really in the game. Ozil got him in the game, you know what I mean? Then, for me, because if Lucas is in time, I'd go for Lucas. But if he's not in, you got to play Giroud, man. Because in this kind of game at Watford away, you need a target man, you know what I mean? Because Watford, the kind of game they play, you need a target man up there to hold the ball and bring in the likes of Alexis and Ox and allow more space for Ozil to manipulate the game, you know what I mean? So that's my starting 11. If anyone feels it's any different, put your starting 11 below, you know what I mean? TroopzTV, subscribe if you ain't subscribed. And one last thing, it's going to be Watford 1, Arsenal 3. Come on.